I respect that you put your seatbelt on. Do you Uber?
I was doing it for a while. I was doing Uber for a while. Then I was switched over to Uber Eats because less people to interact with.
Yeah, I feel ya. I did Uber for a while, and once I had the opportunity to just do Uber Eats,
Yep.
that was it.
Exactly.
Did you ever try to make people like buckle up when they get in your car?
Honestly, like I never had someone that didn't buckle up immediately. I think,
Really?
yeah, because I've never had a good car, so I think most people just would get into the car and they're like, I need to make sure that I survive this trip, so just taking care of myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Smart people.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Oh yeah. So are you still Uber Eatsing?
Occasionally, but ever since I got the job that I got now, just
Oh, I was gonna ask, what's up with the nice clothes?
this is normally what I would wear for work, but I didn't work today. I actually wanted to come out here and try to do a set looking as nice as possible, just so
Really?
yeah, just to disappoint everybody by the stuff that comes out of my mouth.
Oh, this guy's dressed nice. He's got to be a good comedian. Yeah.
Should just do nothing but like, so what's the deal with abortion?
I've been thinking about trying to do like a fake catchphrase.
Yeah.
Like one that I can like maybe it'll get laughs if I start annoying people with it.
Yeah.
It's like I was thinking about what's up with that?
Weirdly enough, like I didn't even notice it until another comic pointed it out to me that I say for instance and for example a lot in all of my
Oh,
sets.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, never even noticed it before someone said it, and now I can never not notice it whenever I say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried writing them out of your jokes and bits?
It's it's one of those things where it just sort of just comes out because
It's part of you.
yeah, pretty much like whenever I try to do a clean set, occasionally a fuck will come out just because it's like, oh shit, I can't stop it anymore.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Uh, man, I hate doing clean. It's just I love dick jokes.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Yeah, and I used to think that doing clean comedy was just cutting fuck out of it, but it's like, no, you actually have to like do subject matter that people aren't going to be horrifically worried by.
Yeah.
Because I had to do like a 30-minute clean set, and I was like, oh, that'll be easy. I'll just take all the swear words out of it. And it was still just like, no, that's not clean, my man.
30-minute clean?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I ended up giving up about halfway through it just because nobody was paying attention whatsoever. It's the
Yeah.
weird.
What was the event?
It was a car show, and
What?
yeah, they didn't have a stage, they didn't have a microphone, they just had me standing next to where they were giving out the pizza, and I was just supposed to do jokes, so I just gave up on being clean halfway through because I was like, fuck it, no one can hear me anyway, and no one's paying attention.
Entertaining the pizza line.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it was the most interesting thing I've ever been a part of.
Damn. How'd you find that even?
I was working at a comic book shop for about 2 years, and next door was an auto parts shop, and they're the ones that put on the event. And they were like, "Hey," and the comic shop had just closed down like a month before the car show, so they were like, "Hey, you need some money? We'll give you $50 each day to come do 30 minutes each, and you can do the same set and everything." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." Then I found out like 2 weeks beforehand it had to be clean, and I was like, "Not as cool, but let's do it."
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't I've done a cleanish set trying to host at LOL.
Yep.
Pretty much my host set every time I've tried to host at LOL. I say try cuz last time okay, I'm like 50-50 on host sets here. All the ones Mike watches, terrible. All the ones he hasn't watched have gone really well.
Yeah,
Same sets, same material, but that's the only time I try to be clean.
Oh yeah.
And I still do weed jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just no dick jokes, no fucks, no shits, no asses, no,
Yeah.
no cocks and cunts.
Yeah, it's weird for me to be like, what? I didn't say fuck. That should make this joke about suicide perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, suicide jokes are hard.
Like I
Not as hard as suicide.
yeah, I was gonna say something, but now I was like, I don't know what I can say in that moment. Like,
Yeah.
but I've actually had people like when I first started doing comedy, I did nothing but like just depression and suicide jokes and nothing
Mm.
and some stuff like that, and I would have people come up to me afterwards, and no one ever like concerned, but they were like, "You shouldn't joke about that." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "So I should just kill myself? Is that like is that the primary concern here? Is the jokes I make about it?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
it's very weird, like the reactions people have to like the ways that people cope with shit.
I think most of the time that goes to show that's a person without major problems.
Yeah, very
If
much so.
if they're not understanding how someone could be coping with major problems.
Yep, very much so.
Yeah. So how long? Wait, you've been doing comedy a while, right?
Yeah, about 9 years now.
God damn,
Yep.
you're an old fogey.
Yeah, for real.
What was your first? Well, what was your first mic?
So I actually my first set ever was at a there was a guy who put on hip hop shows named Darius, and he went by the name of Red Strike for a while.
Okay.
And my friend Miles Rodriguez, I've known him since high school, and he's a local rapper. He goes by Miles Optimistic. If any of you out there know
Oh,
him,
I've heard of this dude. By way of some of the kava
yeah,
people over
yeah,
in
like he's really into like the kava scene and like the very alternative flaming lip style rapper, I would say. Like
Interesting.
yeah, he's a very good friend of mine, but he had signed up for that show, and he's like, "Hey Art, I know that I was writing just anything at the time, so I was writing just scripts,
Yeah.
music, stuff like that." He was like, "Hey, do you want to come like just read something of yours that you wrote?" And I decided, you know what? I've always wanted to try doing stand up. I'll just do some stand up. It's terrible. It was
Yeah.
yeah, but I got through the set like I had
5 minutes or more?
yeah about it was about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just doing like the usual hack shit that people do when they do their first set, just like, oh, me and my friends one time we had this funny interaction.
Oh yeah. Just trying to walk through the funny things you've done with your friends and
Yeah.
stuff. It's so hard trying to translate something that happened funny, like in a whatever scenario,
Yeah.
and trying to then make that funny on stage.
Yep, very much so. Like, uh, probably one of the best bits of because I used to try to tell everything like 100% truthfully, like as it happened. One of the best bits of advice I got was a comic told me it's all right to embellish a little bit. It doesn't make the story a lie. It just makes it funny.
Yeah, I like to try to stick to like the main thing, whatever, I don't know, like the main chunk of it is something truthful,
Yep.
and then there's like something in there that's probably not truthful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you ever here's something I've done twice so far, is taken something funny that happened to a friend and just make it about me.
yep.
I've
Couple of times.
yeah. I'm gonna ask them before if I ever like record it. I'm gonna ask them, but I haven't told them yet.
Yep.
I'm fucking using their funny story on stage.
Yeah. Oh, usually I make the decision immediately after they tell me the story, and I'm like, I'm using that. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Last night I tried. It's a very new one about it being at a party and eating all the chips, and there weren't any chips. That was potpourri. Well, he didn't eat all the fucking potpourri, but I did have a friend who started eating the potpourri at a fucking party. So yeah. Yeah, I mean that's too fucking funny. And he's not a stand-up. He's never going to use that for anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's better when it's like your friends who have no interest in doing stand up even remotely. Like though there's one friend of mine that I keep trying to get to do stand up just because he'll just off the cuff say just some of the most hilarious shit I've ever heard.
Is he trying to say hilarious shit, or is it
No,
one
it's
of those
just
things that just comes out?
it just comes out most of the time, and like I feel he could be a good one of those like just go up there and bitch, like not necessarily bitch, but talk about the thing that's been bothering you for this week.
Yeah. There's a guy, I don't know, like, fucking I won't name him, but he's been in the Pinellas scene or like the Tampa scene a little bit here and there, and his main shtick is just like complaining. He's like the loud complainer guy, and that's like his whole set. And it I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me.
Oh yeah, like my friend, he's like very like he's like imagine like your voice just like a little more irritated. He's very like
Ah,
mellow, laid back and stuff. So I just think it
okay.
would sound hilarious, just like him, like kind of Lewis Black esque,
Yeah.
like him just like because Lewis Black, I never felt he had like a voice for like anger. Like when he gets angry, it kind of sounds like kind of sounds funny if that makes any sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think he realizes that, so he plays up on it. So yeah.
Interesting. Fucking Lewis Black. I haven't heard shit about him in a long time.
I adore Lewis Black. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like he's up there with like Carlin, Pryor,
Mm,
Emo Phillips, like those guys in my favorite comics ever.
yeah. I remember my family. We would watch his specials together
Oh yeah.
back in the day. We would watch what was it, the blue collar stuff,
Yep.
and then for some reason we'd also watch Lewis Black together.
Yeah, like yeah, my mom was really into about the same stuff, like blue collar stuff. Lewis Black. She was weirdly into Bill Maher, which was very
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
I didn't find Bill Maher till much later.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I've discovered like my mom's like one of those people who she just loves comedy in general, so she'll
Oh,
watch
nice.
anything and enjoy it even if it's not 100% anything that she agrees with.
Yeah. Do you so you definitely found comedy through your mom?
Oh yeah, like and then like the basic stuff, and then like there was a friend of mine in middle school named Chris, and he started introducing me to like Mitch Hedberg and Billy Connolly and
Oh,
some of
Billy
the
Connolly.
yeah
Fuck yeah.
yeah I fucking love Billy.
I ran across a couple of his videos recently on YouTube.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah I keep trying to find one because there's one Billy Connolly bit that I'm almost convinced that I imagined it. He's talking about how he was in Peru and he was in the shower listening to the radio, and he was like, it was like pan flute music, and it was like, this is the Wankia music of Peru, played by the Wanka people.
Haha.
And I keep trying to find that clip, but his stuff is just so fucking hardcore in like just the UK and Scotland and stuff that it's so
Yeah.
hard to find just like YouTube clips of his stuff over here.
Uh, um, are you big into the? I'm pretty big into the non-American English-speaking comics.
Yeah, I'm like not as much as I would like to be. Like I love Jimmy Carr.
Oh yeah.
Ed Byrne is one that not a
Ed
lot
Byrne.
of. He's an Irish comic, and
Okay. I don't know if I know him.
yeah, he won like some kind of competition of like Europe's next funniest person. He only had like a couple of specials that became available over here, but he is hilarious. He does like a lot of nerd humor, a lot of like just observational stuff, like very funny.
Yeah. Nice. I watch a lot of British comics. Mainly like the one-liner ones.
Yep.
Because I mean, they've got that down. It's weird with the British. They're either one-liners or they're like the story-driven.
Yep. Exactly.
There doesn't seem to be an in-between.
like.
Um, there was this guy. I gotta look up his name because I don't want to butcher it now. But I got it real quick here because I sent him a message. His Paulie F. Taylor.
Yep.
He did. I found his special on YouTube recently. He's like, I guess I would call him an alt comic.
Yep.
Have you seen him at
Yeah,
all?
I've seen a couple of his clips and stuff
Oh,
like that. I
shit.
really like what I've seen. Like,
Yeah, his full special was so fucking good. Like the way he wrapped it up with callbacks at the end and everything, it was fucking beautiful. Act outs, all sorts of stuff, non-jokey jokes, just all over the place and fucking brilliant. Yeah, so I'll probably send him a clip of me saying nice things about him.
Heck yeah. I
I'm
love you, Polly.
fuck yeah. And just some other comedian happen to know who you are too.
Yeah.
You're getting around, making traction.
Heck yeah.
I'm planning on going to Britain in September.
Nice.
Yeah. maybe even August if I can swing it,
Heck yeah.
because I'd like to go to the Edinburgh Fringe
Oh,
Festival.
nice.
And I messaged him because I want to see him when I'm over there.
Heck yeah.
So you did the that was a mixed media. No, you said it was a hip hop show
Yeah.
that you did comedy at.
Yeah, it
That
was.
was the first one.
Yeah, it's actually the so far the only show that I've ever been a part of outside of Florida. Uh,
Oh, you drove to do your comedy the first time you drove out of state?
no, even worse, I flew out of state. I flew to.
Holy shit.
Yep, I flew to Atlanta. I had. I don't want to. It was just a sense of miscommunication, but the guy that I had originally planned to get a ride back with was in a completely different city staying at a hotel than the hotel I had originally booked. That's going to be another story entirely. But yeah,
Okay.
like the show itself was really fun. Like it started off with a few gospel singers, and then I was the only comedian, and then it was a hip hop show immediately afterwards.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, but it was like everyone enjoyed my material. I did like a little bit of a. I knew that there was a gospel part in it, so I was like, okay, I'll do like one little uh jab at, like, not even a jab at religion, but one kind of religious joke, just to sort of like, let's see if I can get away with this.
Nice. Did it work?
They liked it. They really liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
All right. That's a hell of a mix for a show,
Oh, yeah.
especially your first stand up ever. What'd you do after that to like start getting into comedy past your fucking first show?
Well, that was a couple years ago actually. Like, and that was the first show I've ever done out of state.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So that wasn't your first time doing comedy.
No, like no, that was just the first time I had ever done it outside of the state, like not at
Gotcha.
an open
Okay.
mic, because I've done one open mic out of state, but that was just sort of like a, hey, I'm here visiting a friend of mine, I might as well hit this place up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I lost track of the story. So first, what was the very first performance?
Oh, so yeah, that was the one that was at the show put on by the hip hop dude. So I forgot
Ah.
we were talking about that originally, then we kind of veered
Ah,
off of
gotcha.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how you can tell that we are in fact half cashed.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I basically just did like the hackiest shit possible, and then my friend he started going to a couple of open mics, and but like the second set I did was also a different show by the same guy, like the same format, and I got one joke in, and then I forgot what the rest of my jokes were.
Ah.
And I was about damn ready to just give up on it. But then my friend Miles started hitting more open mics and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'll go give it another shot. Learned a valuable lesson that you should not write your entire set out and try to memorize it. Started doing bullet points from that point on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fucking memorizing long form
Yeah, it
is
was
difficult.
yeah, like the first time that I went up, I took the paper on with me, and that was just
Oh,
hacky as shit. But
yeah, and that's frustrating because if you lose your spot, you're like, oh shit.
yeah, exactly.
18 lines in the middle of the line, there I am.
Yep.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, bullet points are so good.
Yep. But yeah, just basically just a journey of open mics from there.
Nice. Hell yeah. So what's your I don't know, what's your comedy influences? Hey, look, it's Malachi.
Hey, baby. but yeah, like I said, I love me some Lewis Black. Lewis
Yeah.
Black probably like one of the bigger influences. When I first started out, I really tried to be like a late Carlin or Bill Hicks type,
Okay.
but it did not work for me because I just don't have that conviction towards it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like you have to,
Doing smart guy stuff.
yeah, and you have to be a special kind of person to fire back at the people who don't like that stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm just gonna ignore that and move on. Didn't work out too well. But then I started. It wasn't until I started comedy that I got introduced to Emo Phillips.
Ah,
And
yes.
I fell in love with emo, and I was like, this is it. This is the guy who is doing the kind of humor that like I want to do. Like that sort of like very misdirection oriented and very like you would never expect a person who has like that demeanor and that like personality to tell the kind of jokes that he tells.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely something added by that juxtaposition of just his appearance and his presentation, and
Yep.
then his material's actually smart as fuck.
Yep, that's one thing I love about Jimmy Carr as well. Like he comes on like the most well dressed, like dapper, posh English gentleman, and then he
Hmm.
just says some of the most obscene things you've ever heard in your life, and I love
Yeah.
that shit.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Jimmy Carr fan as well. Um, shit. Man, I could just talk about comedy all day.
Yeah,
I
for
tell you
real,
what,
man.
that's my favorite thing. What are you into non-comedy wise? What
Uh,
else do you do?
so mostly just write. I actually got into comedy because I was like, a lot of like comedic writers, they got their start doing stand up and that's how they got noticed and stuff like that. So I kind of and then over time I just started doing comedy more than writing and
Gotcha.
my comedy was being seen by more people than my writing was. So
Mm. So what kind of you write like sketch or
um
you said you were generally writing
yeah,
just like writing.
yeah, just whatever idea I have come into my head. A lot of times it's like script ideas for like shows, movies, a
Okay.
couple comic book ideas that I've like written out the first couple of issues for, but
Yeah.
never anything past that.
Have
A lot of songs. I've written a lot of lyrics. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
All comedic or
Uh,
all over the
all
place?
over the place, just whatever I feel like at the time. I've always had like this huge interest in music, so I try to incorporate that into everything that I do, even if it's
Mm.
just like with comedy. I knew I had to write some comedic songs just
Yeah.
to incorporate that, because like music was probably the first art form that I ever fell in love with.
Yeah, I definitely music was number one for me for the longest time.
Uh,
Uh, and then I probably I don't know, maybe about 7 years ago, I started to realize I was more into comedy than music.
yeah.
Like just listening habits. I started gravitating towards comedy more.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reason that I decided to try stand up at that open mic show is grew up in a very divisive household or divided
Uh,
household. So a
were,
lot of people like when they were younger, they would listen to music to try to like just drown everything out. I would listen to
that's
stand up. I would listen to
uh,
or I would listen to like Carlin's audiobooks or Lewis Black's autobiography and stuff like that. Just
okay.
yeah,
Were you what were you doing back in the day? Torrents?
uh either torrent or like they would give like free samples of like audiobooks back on back on iTunes and stuff
Uh
like that. But yeah, mostly torrents or like file shares and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, once my older brother found torrents, it
Yep,
was like there's
game
no
over.
going back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have access to anything I ever want ever.
Yep.
Perfect.
I used to like feel bad about torrenting stuff, but there was only the I stopped feeling bad about it. The one time I had the first game I ever torrented was Arkham Asylum or Arkham City for the PC,
Mm.
because the disc had gotten broken, and I was like, I'm not buying another goddamn copy of this game. I'm just gonna torrent it.
That's funny because when my brother and I when we first started torrenting, it was uh, Game Boy games,
Yep.
and the very first couple we torrented, maybe the first two, it was our friends had broken cartridges,
Yep.
so we would ask for their broken cartridges, and then we walked our mom through like the legalities of torrenting, and if you have a copy, you are allowed to then, for your own usage, have a duplicate of that copy.
Yep.
So you can have broken cartridges and legally
Uh,
download and play them.
I'm now like a huge, I wouldn't say a proponent of torrents and like, oh, torrents all the way, but I mostly nowadays, like before I got like a PC that actually worked properly, I would just use torrents to test out games before I bought them,
Ah,
just so I could be like, okay, this torrented, it runs fairly well on my PC, so the actual game will run really well, and I don't hate it after the first 2 hours.
yeah,
So
that's smart. You big gamer?
not big, like I uh I have a lot of games in my Steam library and stuff like that, but I wouldn't like. I've struggled to even find the motivation to play anything anymore these days.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm mostly playing like simulation games or like the same 3 games over and over and over again. Just
Okay. What kind of simulation games?
there's actually this one that I've been playing for a while now called Rising Star 2. Basically you play like a local band and you get to choose like what city you start in, and
Okay.
you basically start on the local scene. You become like a touring band, and then you try to get like charting singles and stuff like that. It's really monotonous, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just do the same thing every single day, and it's just heavily addicting for some reason.
Okay. Is this a newer game or?
Yeah, it came out like I want to say 2021 or 2020. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, and the guy keeps up. It's a very small game. I think it's just one guy in charge of it and everything, and he's constantly updating it and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Is it like a pay for content sort of game, or you
Oh
like
no,
buy the
like
copy and?
yeah, you just buy it and then have fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I hate how all games have. What's there's a
Like
term for that.
they've gone like uh the, there is a term for it, but it's like pre-order our stuff, but it won't be working properly, or we'll charge you more for the like the DLC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DLCs. Everything's all about the downloadable content and fucking getting squeezing more out
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, Malachi and I were on the way back from the roast battle. We were talking about how much we hated uh like pre-orders and like uh paying for the game before it's released and stuff like that, because of the fact that it's made a lot of companies complacent in being like, okay, we'll release it the first day, but it'll be broken and you have to download this patch that'll take 12 hours to install, so you can't play the game the day that you buy it.
Damn. That seems like a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, like, just one of the great things you gotta love about corporate America.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm working on I just started today because fucking Nate had his Christmas parody song
Yeah.
last night. So I'm gonna do a Christmas parody. It's gonna be called oh shit, I had the name Corporate Consumerism Christmas. Yeah, and it's gonna be done to the tune of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I haven't quite worked. I've kind of worked out a couple key lyrics. I think it's just gonna be a verse and chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I should start trying to do more shit like that for for the algorithm.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the new song that I had written for last night, but I didn't get it like figured out in time. I wanted it to be like it starts off as like a generic like romantic song, and then progressively it gets like more like socially conscious and stuff, and also it gets
Oh,
more irritated with the tone and stuff. So it starts off like very loving tone, and by the end of it, it's like really annoyed and angry.
yeah,
Yeah, but I just couldn't figure it out in time.
gotcha. Have you ever recorded any of your shit?
I have, but I'm a terrible like producer.
Hmm.
Like I've made a couple beats for some of the rap songs I've written. Like written out a couple of like chord structures and stuff for like the songs,
Yeah,
but nothing that's ever been like, I'm happy with that.
gotcha. Well, if you ever want to work on recording some shit,
Oh yeah,
I
I'd be
got
down for that.
all the gear and shit and plenty of software.
Fucking right. I'm
Oh,
down for
good.
that.
I'd love to write like the full Irish band behind your uh man, I can never remember the actual title. I just know
Simple Request, the piss
Simple
song.
Request. Yeah, the piss song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh yeah, that'd be a full one to have like the full Irish jig
Yep, and
going behind.
that's the feel I went that I was going for. Like
Yeah.
there are because I try to like every song that I write, if it's not like, unless it like with the rap songs, that's I kind of rap the way that I rap, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
But with every other kind of song that I write, I try to like dip into a different genre or something. Like there are a couple songs that I have that are like campfire song-ish, like
Okay.
a couple songs that are uh like meant for like piano ballads and stuff like that. A couple of country-ish songs. Like I uh was always inspired by Trevor Moore.
Yeah.
And the way that he would just like switch genres with everything that he did and shit like that.
I think that's a good route, especially for comedy artists.
Oh yeah, 'cause it just gets like that's one thing I love about he never changed it from like just being one man with an acoustic guitar, but I love Stephen Lynch because every song just sounds so different and everything. You never
Yeah,
feel
this
like,
is
oh,
true.
he's repeating himself.
Yeah, yeah. Stephen Lynch was so good.
Yeah.
Were we just talking about Stephen Lynch last night?
I don't think we were. It might have been like you and Scott or you and Nate possibly.
Maybe, I forget. I was definitely just having
You
a
and I have had a
conversation.
conversation about Stephen Lynch before, I'm sure, but
Oh no, fucking Monday night I had a
yeah.
conversation at Cafe Hey about Stephen Lynch.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's and I guess I've only actually heard his specials.
Yep.
I haven't heard any of his songs outside his specials.
Yep, like the actual album version of the songs are somehow like the lack of a laugh track makes it even better.
Yeah?
Yeah, just cuz like uh though with a couple of them it's like Superhero, that one only works live. Just the crowd participation is such a great part of that.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's interesting having a comedy song and then taking it live and having to like change it a little bit.
One of my favorite bits that he ever did was it wasn't even like a song that he wrote, but it was he was doing a radio interview and the person asked him he was talking about like, oh, I used to be a substitute history teacher, but I got fired because I would come in and I'd just start singing the songs history related, uh and they started asking him like, oh, can you do one for Gandhi? And it's like, Gandhi is what he said, an Indian with a bald head. He was a little bit underfed. Write it down, motherfuckers.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fucking great bit.
Yeah. Any other musical comedians that are worth noting?
I wouldn't classify him as a musical comedian, but Dimitri Martin was always good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dimitri Martin's great.
I like Bo Burnham, but I can never get into him as much as other like people got into him. Like I like his stuff, but I wouldn't really call him like one of my favorite comics.
Yeah.
I almost want to say Garfunkel and Oates, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Garfunkel and Oates, I love them.
I actually saw them live.
Oh man, I'd love to see them live. They're great.
Yeah, it was 2014 Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
They were at the Comedy Central tent.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah. It was great. I heckled. I was drunk as fuck. And this was well before me ever doing comedy. So, yeah. I was a rude motherfucker. Yeah, but they had a good set from what I remember.
You want to know who I found out is like a really like I don't even think he would classify himself as a musical comedian. Hugh Laurie is fucking great. Like
yeah,
like he's fucking he has a song called All We Need, and it's like a parody of folk songs that are like, we have all these problems but we have no solutions, and it's so fucking great. Like, and he sings like choruses like, and all we gotta do is that's the chorus.
Nice.
It's so great.
I don't think I've ever seen him do anything musical, although I love Laurie and Fry.
Yep. Like
fucking
that's
a bit of Laurie and Fry.
Yeah, fucking great duo.
Yeah. Shit, back on the British guys. They're
Yeah,
just
for
so
real.
goddamn good. Yeah. And Australians too. They're fucking
Yep, like
I've heard a couple of Australian comedians recently that
yeah, like
fucking are killer.
fucking love Jim Jeffries. Fucking,
Oh, yeah.
Of course, fantastic.
Yeah.
Just in general, I haven't listened to a lot of like new comics in the last couple of years.
No?
No, I just
Oh.
it's the same reason I don't watch like much TV anymore. I don't watch many movies anymore. I am so worried that because of like what's it called, like connected thinking or like
Parallel thinking.
yeah, parallel thinking. I'm always worried that I'm gonna watch something and I'm gonna be like, shit, that was my idea, and I'm gonna be like, oh, now I can't ever do that again. I would just want to be so blissful ignorance can sometimes be great.
Yeah, I definitely have worried about that because I watch a lot of like small time comedian
Yep.
specials. Like specials on YouTube that only have like 2,500 views,
Yep.
3,000 views.
It wasn't exact, but there was one point where when I was like 3 or 4 years into doing stand up, I was wanting to try something a little new, so I was just writing out like an episodic sketch series
Mm.
about a kid whose laptop becomes self-aware and starts like getting very into like the deep side of the internet and shit like that.
Okay.
And I was gonna do like 1 week of stand up, 1 week of that, 1 week of stand up, 1 week of that, and that didn't go anywhere because it was cringy and bad. But a couple of years later, when Trevor Moore was doing his latest stand-up special at the time, the first video he released was of a song called "My Computer Just Became Self-Aware," where the computer gets addicted to drugs and starts getting into the deep, dark sides of the internet. And I was like, "Oh, god damn it, that was so perfect!" But he did it much better than I ever could have hoped to do. So,
Yeah.
but that's one of the reasons I'm always like, I never know what I could see.
I had an instance, maybe about a year ago, maybe more, where I had a joke that I decided not to use. I decided it was too fucking hacky. And then another local, I never told anyone about it, but another local comedian tweeted almost the exact same joke, and it like fucking went, semi-viral.
Yeah.
And it was like, God damn it! I thought that was a shitty fucking idea.
There was one time where a lot of the jokes that I come up with, I'm convinced that someone else came up with them before, because a lot of the jokes that I think of, or especially like the puns and the bits of wordplay, I'm just
yeah.
like, that's so obvious. I can't be the first one to think of that. There was one joke about like I can't even remember it exactly because I immediately discounted it after what happened later, but it was along the lines of like it was a texting and driving joke, and I'm like, I'm convinced that I didn't write that joke, and I was heading to Dunedin Brewery, and I was gonna do it that night, and then John and Brad did their thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I knew I didn't write that joke. John wrote that joke. So I had to quickly just be like erasing that from everything I have.
Yeah. I fucking tried a joke recently, and it was shit. What was it? It was about grooming. And it was about a dog,
Yeah.
like doing like my dog's almost 18, and it's like something about, hey. It was something about like, and then the joke is bestiality
Yeah.
and grooming, and I fucking, somebody else already has that goddamn joke in the Tampa scene. And it's like, I should have fucking remembered, because I've heard them do that joke like 8 goddamn times. It's like, god damn it. So I guess it does happen.
Yep.
Fucking, you just accidentally leech off of people around you and what you're consuming.
Yep. That's why I would much prefer it be a like blissfully ignorant accident than seeing it and then accidentally telling it again and being like, oh, I knew about it. Why did I do that?
Yeah. What's your bomb meal?
Ooh.
Like, what's your make yourself feel better because the night just went to shit meal?
Honestly, just alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Everybody that knows me hates me because I eat like once a day, and it's just whenever my body feels like eating. So
Okay.
whenever I just have a shit set, I'm just like, just gonna drink and get high and just figure it out from there.
Yeah.
I used to have like there's this very excellent series of video games. The first one is called To the Moon, and it's called the To the Moon series, but every game is like a different name. And whenever I had like a really bad set, like just an awful night, I would just start playing one of those games because they are some of the most depressing games you will ever play in your life. And I was just like, okay, I can cry tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the Moon. I feel like maybe I've heard of that. Is it like a 2D?
Yeah, it's like a pixelated point and click game basically.
I played the first one.
Oh, dude, I love that. Yeah.
One of very few games I've played recently.
Yep.
It was because my brother was trying to get me into Steam, and it was on a Humble Bundle.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like surprisingly sad game.
The sequel game to it is like somehow even more depressing. So, and they made a third game, and the reason I know that I'm finally getting somewhere with my depression is the fact that I have not played the third game yet because I have
Ah,
not felt a need to.
yeah.
I bought it just because I wanted to support him.
Just in case. It's like the gun that's not loaded.
Yeah. And also, he's a great game designer in general, so I wanted to support him by the game at least, even if I don't play it for a long time.
Yeah, fucking nice. I think my like the media I consume when I'm sad is the IT crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fucking watch that show. I mean, luckily it's a short show, but
Oh, yeah.
I've watched that more than any other show at this point by far.
Yep. I can remember one of the first instances I ever had where I was like, oh, humor actually does make everything better.
Mm.
I was at a friend's house for a birthday party. I was like 10, 11 years old, and it was an airsoft gun party. And I was up in like a tree house, and I decided, you know what? I'm way up here. I don't need to be wearing like my goggles or anything. What are the odds that someone's going to be shooting me from way down there? Of course, after I do that, right in there, right in the eye
Oh,
crotch.
God damn.
Yeah. So,
Airsoft, you said?
yeah.
Oh.
So I was just like bawling my eyes out, just fucking crying. And then I went inside, and it was an episode of Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was playing on the TV. And so I just remember just like and my friend's mom's just looking at me, looking at the TV, just like, what the fuck is wrong with kids?
Man, just you talking about your fucking the goddamn eye crotch made me start to like
Yeah.
get a little welled up.
Yeah, I had to wear like had to wear an eye patch for like a week from that.
Oof,
Yeah.
that's rough. I hate eye stuff.
Yep, it's the worst, man.
Although I love watching people have stuff pulled out of their ears. For some reason, I love that, but I can't do eye stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. Like even in fiction, like I can watch the most gory shit possible, like people getting like their heads chopped off and stuff. But even in fiction, I can't watch somebody like injecting heroin into like between their toes or stuff like that.
Oh.
I'm just like, nope, too much for me.
Okay, interesting.
You know, like I have to.
So needles in webbing.
Yeah,
No
or
good.
just needles in like areas that aren't on the arm in general. Like, yeah, like there are scenes where it's like a person's like, I can't remember the movie, but someone put like the needle in their eyeball and shit like that, or and I'm like, nope, I'm good.
How do you feel about acupuncture?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I think it's different when it's just like,
medical.
yeah, when it's supposed to be therapeutic as opposed to, oh, I'm just gonna shove this needle full of toxins that could kill me right between my toes. Like, just like, you want that to be the last thing you ever feel? Ow, no, I'm good. I used to watch a lot of like mob movies because my older brother is really into them. But so like Casino, I could watch like the head vice scene, nothing. I could watch the hanging scene in Scarface, nothing. But show somebody putting heroin into their system with the needle, I'm like, nope, I'm good, buddy. I'm good. I don't even know why. It's just one of those weird things.
I guess you've never done heroin then?
No.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, fucking.
Not just needles in general though, but it's always when people are doing heroin. It's never like, okay, we're gonna give you your flu shot. Take off your socks.
Oh, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Flu shots in the old toe crotches.
Yeah.
Everything now is gonna be something crotch.
Yep, the toe crotch, the
eye crotch.
Yeah.
Finger crotches.
Also, eye crotch is what they're gonna call like the Speedos for the future robots.
Yes. Or maybe just smart speedos. Is that gonna be a thing one day?
Ooh, smart Speedos. That seems like it would be its own like brand. Like smart Speedos and eye crotch are fighting each other.
Yeah. Yeah, big old fucking robot speedo
Yeah.
battles.
we all remember the Bikini Wars.
Bikini Wars of 2057.
Yeah.
Because where do you think the future's heading? You can be as vague as you want. What do you think is in for us?
Question mark.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just completely unknown.
Yep. Who fucking knows at this
Yeah.
point?
I mean, that's probably the most realistic answer you could give. Yeah. There's no fucking telling.
I'm convinced the reality is being written by the guys who used to write for WWE, so who knows what's going to happen next.
Yeah. It does start to feel that way. Yeah. Where do you want to be in 5 years? I mean, comedy-wise or just in general?
Question mark.
Really?
Yeah. Well, depends on what the future is.
Oh yeah, it depends if the nukes go off or not.
Yeah, it depends on like how quickly I can get this body to give up on me.
You're gunning for it?
Yep.
Yeah, fucking 1 meal a day, alcohol and weed.
Yeah, exactly. If I can't do it, no one can. That should be my if anyone ever tries to murder me, just like, hey, don't you take my thing, don't you take this away from me.
Yeah, I was already doing that to myself. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, but in a serious note, like, just wherever I am, as long as I'm comfortable, like, that's the only place I can hope to be. Like, I didn't really get into stand-up to try to like head very far with it. I've always just wanted to have fun with it.
Nice.
I never have a job just to be like, oh, I really love doing this specific thing, just there.
Yeah.
So I've never know what I'm wanting to do anymore. Just going with the flow, seeing what happens.
Hey, that must be a nice way to live.
Probably not healthy, but
I mean, I don't think the alternative is very healthy.
Yeah.
The fucking endless grind of gotta have more, gotta make more.
right.
That's definitely unhealthy.
Right.
Fucking, yeah, corporate consumerism.
Woo, Christmas.
Yeah. Well, shit. Well, we did pretty much 50 minutes,
Woo.
and it's almost fucking list time.
Oh yeah.
This has been great.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, Miles. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you guys for sitting through this bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, and his name's Art Zager, and I don't do intros really.
No, you're
so
all right.
I guess
It's probably best that they don't know. Just
just anonymous.
Yeah, exactly. This anonymous guy that I pulled into my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, that's it. That's the show.
Love you guys.
Bye. Hey gluttons, like and subscribe. Check out Art Zager and everything he does. He's not on Instagram. Look him up on Facebook. ARTZAGER. That's Art Zager. It's in the episode description. I don't know why I spelled it out. Anyways, check out Half Cash Bowl at halfcashbowl.com. Half Cash Bowl Records on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on the YouTubes. We're on Twitter even. I don't know why. I guess that's it. Bye.